everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn about the process synchronization. So it is a task of coordinating the execution of process in a way that no two processes can have access to the shared data and resources. So it is simply a coordination between the two or more processes to access a particular resource. A resource means it may be an input-output device or it may be a memory device. So it may be memory. Okay, and no two processes are allowed to access the shared data. Okay, so here the no two processes are allowed to have the access to the shared data. That means, so here let us consider the two processes, process P1 and process P2. So here the P1 is accessing the memory location. So it is performing the write operation on the memory location. So similarly, at the same time, the process P2 is performing the read operation on the memory location. So here simultaneously two processes are accessing the resource, the shared resource at a time. So here, so while the process P1 is writing, if the process P2 accesses the memory location, then it may get the inconsistent data. Okay, so here you can see that, so if the process P2 performs a read operation on the memory, on the shared memory, while the process P1 is performing the write operation, then it may result in error. Okay, so that's why in the process in synchronization we are going to allow only one process to access the resource. Okay, so here if we allow the process P1 first to access the memory, so after performing the write operation by the P1, then the P2 is allowed to access the memory. Okay, so here the process are allowed to access the memory in a synchronized manner. So first P1 is allowed, next P2 is allowed to access the memory. Okay, so in the process synchronization we are going to follow the different types of techniques to access the memory. Okay, so here the process are of two types, cooperative process and independent process. Okay, so we need the process synchronization only in the cooperative process, because here the each and every process is dependent on each other, but whereas in the independent process there is no dependency. So each process executes independent on each other. Okay, so here the process are of two types, so that is cooperative and independent process. So in the cooperative process, each process is dependent on each other and all the process share data and execute the execution of one process affects the execution of other process. Since all the process access common code, so there is a dependency here. In the independent process, execution of one process won't affect the execution of the other process. So process synchronization is needed only in the cooperative process. Since the multiple processes need to execute concurrently, so to access the shared data, to avoid the inconsistency in cooperative process synchronization is must here. And next, so that is a race condition. So process synchronization gives rise to some problems. So one of the problem is the race condition. So it occurs when multiple process or thread read and write data item. So the final result depends on order of execution of the instruction in multiple process. Okay, in the synchronization, so on a single resource, multiple processes are going to perform, right? In the synchronization, we are going to allow only one process to execute at a time. Okay, so here, so multiple process or threads are going to read and write the data item. So the final result depends on order of execution of the instruction. So here the final result will be dependent on how the process are going to execute. So here we have taken that two processes are performing the write operation on the memory location with the shared data A. So let the shared data be A. So the value of A is 1. Okay, so here the two processes are performing the write operation, that is P1 and P2. Okay, and the final result will depend on how the process will execute. So first P1 may execute and then P2 may execute, or else the P2 will execute first and P1 may execute last. Okay, so the final result will depend on how the process will execute, based on the order of the execution of the process. So let us clearly know about this with a simple example here. So here, so two processes are going to perform the write operation on the memory location A. So here two tasks are in a race to write the variable A. So in this, loser of the race is a process that updates the last and determines the final value of A. So here one process may increment the value A and other process may decrement the value A. So let us consider that process P1 is going to increment the A value by 1. Similarly, the process P2 is going to decrement the A value by 1. Okay, so based on the order of execution, so that means which process executes first and which process executes last, the result will vary. Okay, so here we have taken the a shared variable here. So a shared variable or shared memory location, that is a count, and let us consider the count value be 10. So we are having the two processes executing on the shared memory location, that is P1 and P2. Okay, so here the P1 is performing the increment operation and P2 is performing the decrement operation on the memory. So first let us consider the P1. So here the P1 is, in the P1, so we are having the 3 steps, right, to increment the memory location. And here, so after executing, it is going to increment the value by 1. Okay, so if you want to execute, if you want to perform any arithmetic or logical operations, so it will be performed through the registers in the ALU. Okay, so that's why in the first step, so we are going to copy the value of count, that is 10, to the register R1. So we are going to copy the value count, that is 10, to the register R1. So here the count value is 10. So it is copied to the register R1. So next, second step is incrementing the R1 value. So we are going to increment the R1 value, that is 10 to 11. Okay, and then write the count value. So we are going to update the new value of the register R1 to the count. So similarly, the count decrement operation. So count decrement operation is performed by the process P2. So it is going to copy the value of the count to the register R2. Okay, and then here it is decrement. It is decrement. So we are going to decrement the R2 value and then write the count value. So write the count value, so write the R2 value to the count. So what is the R2 value here? 9, right? Since it is decremented by 1. So write the count value, that is 9. Okay, so in the count increment operation we got the result as 11 and here 9 as the answer. Okay, so based on the order of execution here, the result may vary. So you will see how the result will vary by taking some set of orders here, like executing P1 first and executing P2 first. So here we are taking the count value as 10. Okay, so first I am going to we are considering the 3 statements here. Okay, so first the P1 is executed completely and then P2. Okay, so here P1 will perform the increment operation and the P2 is going to perform decrement operation. So in the first process, so it is going to increment the count value by 1, so that is 11, and the process P2 is going to decrement the count value by 1. So which will become again 10. So the count value is 10 here. Okay. So next consider the second statement here. So second statement, the P1 is going to execute the first two instructions. Okay. So is initially 10. So it is going to copy the count value to the R1 and then increment the R1 value. So increment means it will become 11 here. Okay. So next it is preempting the process P1 and it is executing. The control will be passed to the process P2. Okay. So the process P2 is going to copy the count value to R2. So count value is 10 only here because we have not saved the R1 value. Okay, so if we have written the R1 value to the count, then the count value will be 11. Since we have not written the R1 value, the count will be 10. So it is going to take the older value of the count. Okay, and it will decrement the R2 value by 1. Okay, and then it will be written back to the count. Okay, so here the R2 value will be written to the count. So here the count value is decremented by 1, which is 9. Okay, and it will be written back to the count. Okay, so which is 9. And again coming back to the process P1 here. Okay, so write count comma R1. Okay, so it is going to take the R1 value. So which is taken as the 9. Okay, and it is going to copy the R1 value to the count. So here the count value is 9. Okay, since we have not saved the P1 value, okay, so it is going to override the previous incremented R1 value and it will take the count value of the P2. So in the next statement, so here the process P1 is going to execute first. So it is going to execute the first two instructions of the P1. Okay, so that is incrementing the R1 value by 1 and it will be preempted and the control will pass to the process P2. So here the process P2, so it is going to execute the first two instructions here. That is copying the count value to the R2. So since here the count value is not, the R1 value is not copied to the R1, so the count value will be 10 only. Okay, and it will perform the decrement operation. So here it is not increment, decrement operation. So 10 will become 9. Okay, and then the control will again pass to the process P1. Okay, so what is the value of P2 here? 9. And the process P1 value is 10, right? Since we have incremented the value, it is 10, but it was not saved. Sorry, it is 11 and it is not saved. Next, process P1 is going to increment the value. Okay, so it is going to increment the value by, so the process P1 is going to copy the value where it has preempted. So R1 to the count, it is going to copy, and then so it is 11. So it is going to store the P1 value, and then process P2 is going to store the R2 value to the count. So what is the R2 value here? 9. So it will be saved to the count. Okay, so finally the count value will become 9 because of the process P2. Okay, so here based on the order of execution, the count value will become 9. Suppose we have exchanged these instructions, that is process P1 and P2, then the answer will be different here. The count value will change. So based on the order of the execution of instructions, the count value will change. So here all the instructions are racing. Okay, so all the instructions are racing to update the value of the count, and the process which lastly updates the value of the count, it will become the loser of the race. Okay, by changing the count value. And thanks for watching my video, and this is all about the process synchronization. Thanks for watching my video.